All right. Hey, quants. I did mention in the last video that I would be going through in one of my future videos and making a gridbot indicator based off of a strategy that I had in the past. And so that's what you're looking at on the screen right now. So this has issues with it. And so even though this equity curve looks pretty nice, it is not an equity curve that I would trust. However, I have been playing this out for quite a long time, and I think that the strategy is a sound strategy. I just want to go through and fix some of the issues. And so with that said, I'm actually going to break this thing down and make it a more reusable indicator that I can plug into the skeleton key. And so if you are a member of the Crown Group or go do anything on Crown Quant Alchemy, then you should be familiar with the tools that are available through there. If not, links to the description are in this video, and you can go and take a look at that stuff on how to basically plug and play indicators into a strategy and then get some back tests. And then if you'd like to automate that, we educate you on how to do that as well. There are a lot of people in the group to help out with that. A lot of people that have done that. They're all very experienced in there. I'm in there as well. If you need specific advice for myself, I'm there. Usually we have other people that are equally as good at being able to configure these things now. And so they'll be in there to help you out. And they're just in there all the time. So I did want to just kind of give you a preview of this video or of this indicator because although I did mention I would probably try to do it today, I'm running short on time and I'm trying to wrap up some other work so that I can get started on a new project. I know Eric had mentioned it in one of his videos just very briefly, the Krong.ai project, which will be kind of a neat concept and using some AI stuff. And so I won't go into too much detail there, but I did mention on the video here before, there's a wait list for that at Krong.ai, and so you can go sign up for that if you want. We'll probably end up releasing it for some beta testers in the future as I get the code out for that, but I haven't started doing a significant amount of work on that yet. I'm just cleaning off some of the stuff on my plate so I could be fully focused on that. So, and I want to get that done so I can ideally get started on this Krong.ai stuff next week. So, but I will preview this here. And I am going to probably do like a longer form video of me just coding the indicator version of this up and simplifying that, and then we can plug it into the skeleton key and see how that works. But I just wanted to kind of highlight that here. So let's go ahead and, with that said, we'll just do some basic chart review here. Again, I know the stats on chart review is not that great, so if you drop off now, all good. You got the information about the upcoming gridbot stuff, and so that will be coming in the future. So taking a look here, the PPI was much lower than forecasted, so I think that's a pretty good sign. Markets don't seem to be reacting too much off of that right now, but we did get quite a bit of upside. Looks like some crypto coins are going up. Just checking out the watch list here. Not dramatic. 4% on crypto is nothing. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts. So we're still setting up above that kind of line of resistance that we had there. Back to the square of nines resistance breakout. We did have the failure on that. So if you're taking that short-term trade off the equinox, you're probably out unless you were using another strategy or layering in another strategy with some swing trading or some trend trading. We got the 821 cross here, a little bit of sideways action, a dip, and then kind of moving up here. So I did mention that I expected to see a little bit of resistance around this area, but I think if we can get above here, which I think we did, might have just barely got all the way past there. The high was 76 even on that candle, and then here it was $96 above that. So technically this was higher, although this candle doesn't look like a very good daily candle. Looks like we got kind of that shooting star candle, so potential for this to just dump out. If you took the trade, if you took the trade on this trend, then obviously you're not getting much out of it. But it would be a winning trade if you closed out now. But if you're following the trend strategy, you'd be waiting for the trend to actually turn on one of the indicators, unless you pick the target ahead of time. So let's go ahead and take a look. Got some other things showing on here. I think that was it for those. I think we can go ahead and take a quick look at gold because I haven't looked at those in a while. Looks like gold is getting ready to get a 821 cross. I expected some ranging here. We haven't really got above any of the resistance lines here. I mean, to me, this looks like, I heard somebody saying that gold was looking good. I think it was Ched's. I definitely respect his trading. He's a solid trader and well educated in that. But, from this, it still looks like it's just ranging to me. But if you're following the 821, that would have been your once it closes, if this still stays with the 8 crossed over the 21, that's your buy signal. I mentioned before that this would have been your traditional kind of best time to buy, would have been bouncing off the 200 EMA. I had bought in way back in time, and so I would personally was not taking that trade because I was just looking for opportunity to reduce my position sizes. Let's see, silver. Take a look at silver. I also remember Chad's mentioning that silver was looking pretty good. I don't know if he was looking on lower time frames. This still to me looks like it's just kind of like hitting on resistance here. So I personally would need a little bit more confirmation. However, we did get the 821 cross. Again, challenge with these times is it's been going sideways for a while now, and with these trend following systems, if that's what you're utilizing, you're going to get chopped up in the sideways trends. So hard to know right now without some clear direction. We don't have the oscillators. This looks like the histogram might bump over the 0, which is bullish. We do have the stochastic pretty high here. That doesn't mean it can't stay high. I mean, it stayed high for a long time, right? When we were reaching all-time highs. So that's totally possible. But point is for getting into an early moving trend, that's kind of out of my realm for where we are right now, because the oscillators aren't really lined up with something I would like to see, like bullish divergence. I didn't look to see if we've got, it doesn't, I don't see any hidden bullish divergence or anything like that as well. So, so with that, there's no trades on these for me either. Let's go ahead and take a look at SPY. People were talking about this busting up to new all-time highs. Oh, look at that. Market is loving it. Now, breaking into new all-time highs is obviously bullish. I mentioned this looking nasty a while back because we kind of broke under the 200s and expecting maybe a 200 touch here, but it didn't. It bounced off and kept moving. So that was a good sign. Again, one of the challenges here is like, when are you going to get into this? Because it just gapped up significantly. I think if you didn't buy when it was low here around the 200s, then you kind of missed your opportunity to catch this trade. And it's happened fairly quickly at this point. So it is setting at all-time highs. I would expect some consolidation here. I mean, we had this rounding top and then things just dumped. And so that rounding top with the cross, that was a good time to get out. You had a lot of opportunities where there was kind of a sideways market there. So potentially getting chopped up with that. If you just didn't exit your position, even using a swing indicator, there was opportunity to get out there before eating all of that. But with that rounding top, it was, kind of hard to say if you were going to get a continuation on that. I was hesitant there for a minute because one thing I was looking at is like, I wouldn't have called this an Adam and Eve pattern, but I wonder if we're getting like maybe an Adam and Eve pattern here. If this dumps out, then that could look like an Adam and Eve pattern. That's definitely not something I typically look at so much, but same idea with the oscillators. They're all pretty high here. The histogram's not as high as it could be, but it is pretty high. And so I personally would expect some consolidation here. And so if you're going to be looking to get into a position because you didn't get into one down lower here, then I would be looking for some kind of consolidation and maybe some retest to prove that it's ready to actually push higher. But again, you could totally miss the move if it just blasts off there. So short one today, we'll keep it there. I do have the grid strategy on my mind. I'm looking at potentially doing that in the next couple of days, provided I can get some of the other stuff off my plate, and then I'll have more time to just focus on that and do kind of a longer form video. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace, quants.